You know, when you take one of the greatest athletes of all time and arguably, at least in my opinion, the greatest golfer of all time, and you decide to give him his whole brand, his own line of stuff, you'd imagine that they probably would come out the gate, correct. But Sunday Red, in my opinion, has been off to a slow start for reasons that I find to be pretty abysmal. Let's dive into it. So for those of you that don't know, Tiger Woods is no longer with Nike, and this is no longer his logo. No, Tiger's current logo is either this right here, this little tiger with, all these stripes representing the majors that he's won, or you have this variation of the logo here, which is the SDR plus the Tiger logo that stands for Sunday Red. Now, as some of you might know, Sunday Red is this brand that launched recently. It's a part of TaylorMade. For the people that know me and know how much I love Adidas and how much I do still love Adidas, Adidas used to own TaylorMade, so there's some synergy there. But that's what this is really about. What I really want to talk mainly about is just the fact that this brand, that's Tiger's new brand, really is just kind of weird. I've been thinking about this ever since they started releasing stuff back in the initial launch, and I've had some time to ruminate and what I think are my main complaints about the brand, and something I wanted to put out there just that other people who are interested in purchasing or want to have a discussion about it could talk about. So we're going to break it down to a couple categories, starting with the price. Now, I can talk about the release and how everything was dropped and how everything was, released on the very first day and how the releases have gone since then. But that's something I'll save towards the end of the video. Let's just talk about the big glaring thing that everyone's pointing out, and it's the price of items, okay? So everything on this website is really, really expensive, okay? Like this hat I'm wearing right here, the hat that I showed you guys earlier, this is a $50 hat, okay? And same with this one, it's a $50 hat. Compared to what we had, with Nike, which was, these, nice hats with the old Tiger Woods logo on it. And, I went and bought one of these hats actually just a couple days ago. And this hat is $32, okay? Now, something that I think everyone will admit and talk about is the idea of, price points and, pricing stuff for what the market is going to sell at and so on and so forth. And yeah, I will say at the launch and the offset of this, a lot of things were selling out, hats, gloves, pretty much anything you could name on the website was selling out that first night because people were excited and wanted to get a piece of this new collection. But what was interesting is that, once you get the products and you get them in hand, that's where some of the discrepancies of things start to arise. And again, I've waited to do this video for a while because I wanted to have the product in hand for a bit and get to see what my thoughts were on it over time as I've worn it. And some ways I've been really disappointed. Other ways I've been kind of like, this isn't the worst thing, but it could be better. And so as I kind of get into some of those things, I figured I kind of would show you guys what this stuff looks like when it comes. And that's where, you start to see some of the price point on things, but stuff that the consumer I don't think really fully cares about that much. So one of the first things, okay, is all this branding on the box. You got Sunday Red. It's in a couple places. It's there on the box. You also have it here with the website. And then when you open the actual box up, what I think is cool is you're greeted with, this camo pattern and then the SDR and the Tiger logo, which is cool. This is what I think this hat came in. Okay, so you have little pieces to keep keep its form and shape. That says Sunday Red on it too. And then you also have in there this little card that says Sunday Red, and it has this little piece of information from Tiger that I think is really cool and neat, because I think it's kind of dope that they took the effort to go through all this. And I'm gonna kind of read to you guys the statement on here, okay? Welcome to Sunday Red. This brand is personal. It's curated collection of performance apparel and footwear with my love for competing stitched into every single piece. And all my life, I've never settled for good enough. And Sunday Red is an expression of that same determination. The determination to train harder, to sacrifice, to compete both on and off the course. Working closely with our incredible product creation team, we made sure every individual piece met my standard by focusing on the details in the details. Every choice we make and choose not to make puts the athlete first. When you wear Sunday Red, you'll know you have the confidence to compete. Let's go to work, Tiger. That's cool. But now let's get into the reality of it, okay? this hat, for example, and don't mind like my hair currently. I've worn this hat, you know, on the golf course maybe about like 5 or 6 times so far. I've worn this hat much more, and that's been over the year. I'm gonna put this back on to avoid my hair. But the thing that I've noticed, and you kind of can see it maybe still a little bit, but you could definitely see it when I was wearing it. It was really a hot day. The brim started to have these little pockets of air bubbles pop up in it, and you know, that's a sign that this hat isn't really gonna last that long. And again, here's the thing, spending $50 on a product isn't the problem in itself. The problem is you spend the $50 and then the quality's not there, you know, and that's what I think is the issue, is that some of these pieces don't quite have that. And this is one of the ones that I do feel that way with. You know, again, it's nice that you have like the logo and stuff here called out on the back, and the brand, well, the logo here and the brand name called out on the back. That's cool. And I mean, you go on this website, I mean, and you have, I mean, options upon options in multiple different colors, multiple different styles, but it's adjustable. But you also have in versions where it's not adjustable. You know, there's tons of different options on the website, but the thing is you're, again, you know, you can see, I mean, you're gonna get sweat appearing on, you know, stuff all the time, but like, again, by the same token, this hat I've worn multiple times. I don't have any of that on here, you know, and again, this is Nike, this is, you know, Sunday Red. I'm not saying that Sunday Red can't give you that quality, but what I am wondering is, when are we gonna get it, you know? And the thing is, across the board, things are expensive. This is a Sunday Red polo. This polo is cool, it's nice. I won't say it's not unbreathable, but this wasn't even their top tier polo. This is the Delta polo, which is like their $120 option. This is $120 for a polo. The top tier one is the 3D knit one, and that one's $150. And the thing is, I don't know for sure what really makes difference. I mean, there's material difference and stuff like that, but like, I mean, people talked about seeing Tiger compete at, I think it was the Masters, was it? And how you could see him sweating through his shirt, like moisture wicking. And I know it's the same thing with this shirt on a really hot day. The moisture wicking wasn't fantastic. And again, you gotta remember, for people, this was $120, right? But then I have over here a Tiger Woods polo from Nike, right? Okay. And I still have the tag on this. This was $90. Now, this wasn't also, I think, the top tier Tiger polo, but this is $90, okay? $90 for a polo. And again, some people still argue that's super expensive, and I'm not going to necessarily disagree with you on that, but 120 and it's not super breathable, you know, that's kind of an issue. And the availability of stuff too, it's like the website's supposed to be, you know, and the brand's name is called Sunday Red, and we're selling out of this red stuff very quickly, which makes sense, but then there's not been really a lot of restocks of things. And again, I mean, like, I'm not saying I won't spend any more money, because I don't even want to talk about it. You know, my buddy Marcus, shout out to him, today's his birthday, by the way, Mark Kicks and Whips. I'm just saying, hey man, go check out the channel. I'll give him a shout out again at the end of the video. But you know, he was, you know, giving me grief and saying like, bro, you could buy a whole set of new clubs pack with how much you spent for this stuff. I mean, you look at the numbers, the stuff starts adding up, and I'm sitting here and like, I can't say I'm fully satisfied, you know? Okay, you got a glove here. Now, I'm not saying a golf glove is gonna be in great shape or anything like that, but this is, I've worn this maybe 7 or 8 times. This is a Sunday Red glove. This glove is $45, okay? And I got the, you know, my high wear areas, I guess you could say, I got, you know, the color coming off of the gray glove. This isn't even the glove that Tiger uses. He uses a different glove that they just put on the website maybe like a week or 2 ago that has like a different type of breathability patch on it and stuff. But again, it's like $45. And you're looking at $45 for a glove, and it's like, okay, you go and look at a Nike glove or a TaylorMade glove, and I mean, I think even their most expensive options are like $40, $5 difference, you know. And you might, don't quote me on that, it might be even less. I mean, I just was at the store the other day, and the Jordan brand glove is $35, which that's the one we'll get on to a little bit later as well. But, you know, again, you want to talk about presentation, okay? The glove comes in a pack like this, Sunday Red, you know? You open it up and, you know, inside the glove sits, and that's cool, and that's lovely, but like, it's not, again, it's not, I don't necessarily, all this extra stuff doesn't equate to what I want quality-wise for the price I'm spending. And that's what I find, you know, to be most weird about everything with this brand so far, is that we're in this situation where we have this stuff coming out and it's like, man, this is cool, but like, is it really worth the price? This is another thing that I did pick up. And you guys probably gonna get a laugh out of this once I open it up, so I forgot how much stuff is in here. Oh, the one thing I did forget to mention before I get into this other item is that each order I've had so far has come with this pack of tees. Like, this is cool. This is not something that you purchase. This has just come with the orders. They're real plain basic tees, say Sunday Red on it, have little etch marks on the side, have the little logo on top of the tee, and you get 6 of them in each of these packs. 3 white ones, 3 red ones. The red ones are shorter tees. I can't remember, I know Tiger likes a certain length of tee, and so I think they fall in line with that. So that's a cool added bonus. But again, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't think anyone's necessarily asking for that, okay? But you order this towel, and I thought it was just gonna be like a nice little golf towel, right? So I thought it was gonna be like this size. But, you know, you open it up and you realize that you have this like beach towel size towel. And that's not, I mean, again, like, I'm not necessarily complaining about that. That's kind of like, for the price, this makes the towel make a lot more sense. But again, this is just a little surprising. It has the logo on it, you know, says Sunday Red. Like, that's cool. This is dope. But this also, this interesting thing where like the brand, it's not meant just for golfers, it's meant for athletes. And so there's all this different, you know, talking and conversation behind, you know, what the products are and what the options are, because there's hoodies, there's t-shirts, there's different levels of t-shirts, again, but price-wise, everything's very, very expensive. And you know, the second thing I talk about just real briefly is like the release dates and stuff. That's been kind of hit or miss with things. I do think the biggest issue I have with the release, the very first release, is you launch the Sunday Red thing, you talk about all the stuff that's gonna be on there, and then the release day comes and most of the polos weren't on there, nothing with a logo was on there, not anything red. And when all that's the case, it's like, this is kind of just lackluster. You know, you were telling me you were going to launch all these things. The shoes haven't been posted on there yet. Not that I think I want the shoes. I like my Adidas. But like, it's just weird. But what I do think is the craziest thing comes into my final point for the video, the logo. Now, I don't know about you, but people who like brands usually are buying the brand in association with the logo because they like said logo or they like said brand and they want it to be a thing of like, you know, I'm wearing a Sunday Red polo, okay? I want to have, you know, the tiger or something, you know, or maybe the tiger here, because some of the shirts the tiger has. There's a little square patch on the back that has this placement of the logo with the letters and the logo itself. You have shirts that say Sunday Red, but for some reason they say Sunday Red on it, but it's in the exact same color tone as the shirt. So, but like I have this shirt on right now, and that you couldn't tell though, but it actually spells out Sunday Red right here. That's not the case with this thing, but I will put, you know, pictures of it in the video. It's weird. And that's probably the most abysmal thing about this entire release to me, is that you're selling all these products without the logo. What's crazy is that most recent release they did was this camo collection. With some really cool looking shirts. I felt, you know, some coolest shorts and some other cool options there. Some of that stuff's dope. But like, they released this stuff after having it on the website for months, being advertised as, you know, with showing the logo on the chest. All the stuff releases and there's no logos on any of it. Besides like the placement here, or maybe like there's something here, or maybe on the bottom of the shirt where if you tuck your shirt in, it's there, but you won't see it because the shirt's tucked in. But this brand, for some reason, decides to not release anything with logos on besides hats. And then the socks have them too. They just recently posted socks and the glove has it. But the main thing, you know, that the whole thing that the brand's name comes from, Sunday Red, comes from the polos and the crew necks the Tiger wears, and there's no logo placement on it. It's just weird, man. Tiger's whole thing, if you go here and mention this last piece again, that I never settle for good enough. This feels very good enough. It's weird because, like, again, coming from the world of sneakers and NBA and even like other sports, athletes have PEs. They have player exclusive versions of their shoes and of some of their apparel stuff. And like, to some degree, that makes sense. But for an entire brand, it's predicated on one golfer, the greatest golfer of all time, to be predicated on him, and you can buy this stuff and none of it has the logo in a way that's visible. It's weird. But then all the stuff you see him wearing has it. And I'm all for player edition. It's his brand. He can, he can rep and rock it however he wants to. So it's just kind of weird, man. At the end of the day, that's the biggest thing to me, is that it's just really, really weird. And I don't know how this brand plans to get some brand notoriety and get recognized besides just off of name. No one will see me wearing this polo per se and be like, oh, that's Tiger's new stuff. Like, well, do you like it? X, Y, and Z. Because no one can tell. You can't have good, word of mouth spread. If I put this on, people will look at this and think, oh man, that's a vintage Tiger Woods polo. Partially because you got this giant logo placement here on the back. This doesn't have a giant logo placement here on the back, And I'm not even saying, like, again, Nike has their logo on the front, but it's because they want you to know what's up. I look here, I got one set of pants. I didn't get any shorts. And again, I really don't know why I bought any of this stuff. But you look at the pants, and I'm not saying it needs to have some giant logo placement on it, but even the Adidas golf pants I have the 3 stripes on it and the Adidas logo. And there's some versions that have the more subtle, subdued version of the performance logo that's just the 3 stripes piece, And the thing is like, some of the stuff is great. Like, I think these pants are great. I love the little zipper here. Let's with the pocket. I think the pockets are nice. I think they're comfortable. These are breathable. I mean, I golfed on a hot day in these, and I don't know why the heck I did that, but I was trying to test all the stuff out, and I like that. This polo, it's a comfy polo. It's comfortable. I do like it. It's not super breathable though. This hat is all right. It's not super soft or breathable either, but it's all right. The other hat's more breathable. The glove is okay. But you look at all this, and I haven't even added it up for myself yet, but I guess I'll put it here at the end of the video. Like, I spent, wherever this number is, I don't even know what it is, but I feel disgusted. Some of this stuff was a gift though, I do appreciate that, but I'm adding that, keeping that in the total. But like, thank you to you for the hat, if you end up watching this. It just doesn't make any sense, from a consumer standpoint, and I'm just curious to see what other people are thinking and where the conversation with this goes, because I do think there's some really cool designs, and I love a lot of the storytelling that they were showcasing leading up to the launch. And I'd love to see that continue, but if you're not going to put forth what you're actually showing in your initial, releases of stuff and promoting of things, and we're gonna somehow get lost along, the road, it's like, I don't know why. Right now, I have no reason to want to buy another polo from them at that price point with no logo on it, period. There are the people out there that will talk, about brand minimalism and all that stuff, and I think that's great. But my other thought goes as well, you should do some, research and development for some of your products. And my idea is there should be a poll taken for consumers saying who value having the logo placed and who doesn't. And the thing is, you already have 2 different tiers of polos. You got the Delta and you got the 3D knit, which the 3D knit's supposed to be fantastic. I haven't bought a 3D knit one. I'm curious to know what it's like. I'm not gonna buy one until there's something with a logo probably. But my whole thing is, again, that in itself is a place of where you go, well, what, I pay this much and I get, no logo, but I pay this much and I get logo. Gives the consumers options. And I don't know who the head is going over there. I don't know what type of research they've done. And this isn't to insult anybody or to put anybody down. But it's just for me to say in a real, honest way, like, I don't feel like this makes much sense. And if you go in the comment section on Instagram on every post, you're seeing the same thing. People are saying, where's stuff with the logo? Why would I buy this? Why would I want to do this? And people might say, oh, it's the vocal minority, but I don't think that's the case in this situation. And so it's just weird, man. And that's all I gotta say, guys. And so that will do it for me, guys. Thanks for tuning into the video. I really appreciate you guys watching, and please like, comment, subscribe, and all that other great stuff. Also, if you haven't already, go subscribe to the boy, Mark Hicks and Whips. Like, go support my guy. Happy birthday to you, Marcus. Hope it was a great one, bro, and hope you enjoyed the little conversation and rant about the Sunday Red stuff. You are correct. I looked at that amount at the end of the video, and again, I ain't really seen it yet, but the math is mathing in my head all right, and I made decisions. So yeah, happy birthday to you all again, bro. And yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. Until next time, peace. I'll see you around later. Have a great rest of y'all day. Bye.